Hello there, I didn't see you there. My name is Miles Peterson. I'm going to be talking to you about Economics 101. But first I'm going to start off with the law of demand. The law of demand states
that when prices go down, quantity demanded increases. When prices go up, quantity demanded decreases.
Now that you've learned about law of demand, I'm going to be talking to you about demand schedule. Demand schedule states
it is a table that shows how much of a good or service an individual consumer is willing and able to purchase at each price in a market. A demand curve is a graph that shows how much of a good or service an individual will buy at each price. In other words, it displays the data from the individual's demand.
There are 6 factors that affect demand.
Income,
Market size,
Consumer taste
consumer expectations,
substitutes,
and complements.
Now that we've talked about the law of demand, it's time to talk about supply. The law of supply states
that when prices decrease, quantity supplied decreases, and when prices increase, quantity supplied increases.
Now that we've learned about the law of supply, I'd like to tell you about the supply schedule. A supply schedule states
that it is a table that shows how much of a good or service an individual producer is willing and able to offer for sale at each price in a market. In other words, a supply schedule shows the law of supply in table form.
Now that we've learned about supply schedule, I'd like to talk to you about market supply schedule. A market supply schedule states
a market supply schedule lists how much of a good or service all producers in a market are willing and able to offer for sale at each price.
I'm here with an economics expert. His name is Mr. Bowens. I'm going to be talking to you about supply curve. Supply curve is a graph of how much a good or service an individual producer is willing to be able to offer for sale at each price. To create a supply curve, transfer the data from supply schedule to a graph. But the difference between that and a market supply curve is a market supply curve shows the data from a market supply schedule in a graph form. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Absolutely right.
What do you think the first out of the 6 economic